So tonight we actually did get to see a little bit, a glimpse, if you will, of a different side of Heavenly. I don't know if that was good or if that was bad, but we seen it. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Married to Medicine. This is season 6, episode 6. As I said, tonight we actually did get to see a different side or a different piece of what is Dr. Heavenly Kimes. We were there with her in Miami, trying to retrace her steps and go over some of what her childhood was to try to get down to, let's see, I'm trying to figure out a nice way to say this. Why she's such a nasty bitch most of the time. And it was interesting. We actually even got the chance to sit with, there was a meeting. It was, naturally, it's her, Jackie, and Simone. They sat with three women that she went to school with. There was one Caucasian woman, and then there's these 2 black women, and she was the odd man out. The odd man out. Really, I see why he calls her buddy. And she just, from what I gathered from those women, basically all of her life, her adult life, her early adult life and her adult life, so because we're talking 11th, 12th grade, you're adult, people have just made allowance for the fact that she is a rude bitch. And they say, oh, well, you've always just been heavenly. You've always said what was on your mind and all. You know what? That's all bullshit. That's all bullshit. And this is where those things happen, where you get caught in this thing where you believe that you can do and say what you want, all under the umbrella of, oh, I'm real. I'm real. There's nothing wrong with being real. I'm real. I think I'm a very real person. I'm very transparent. What you see is pretty much what you get. But I don't just go out of my way to be rude to people. I don't go out of my way to cut people. Now, if you cross me, I'll tear your ass apart. I will tear your ass apart. But I don't start trouble. I don't start trouble. I never have. I've never been one of those people who start trouble. But God damn it, I've always been a bitch that will finish up some trouble. I'll shut a room down now. I'll shut a room down and leave it quiet than a motherfucker in the room. But I ain't going in there starting no noise in no room. That's just not me. Heavenly, what I'm seeing, you just come in with that old loud, ridiculous laugh. You basically, you want to be seen. And then once you're seen, you don't have a problem keeping up whatever it is that you need to do to make sure the spotlight is always on you. And that's what I see from Heavenly. That don't knock me out. That don't knock me out. I just don't find all that cute. When she's always being snipey and trying to drop them little bombs to make people laugh at other people. That shit's not cute. Here and there, you crack a little joke, but always trying to joan on somebody to try to making people look bad to make you look good. That ain't no good trait. And when people are around you that know you from years and years ago, they tend to make allowance for that type of shit when that's the type of person you are. But in the real world, somebody will hit you upside your goddamn head with the butt of a gun playing games with them like that. But this is just what I was seeing in this little interaction with those women. I said, God bless them, but that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. And I honestly believe that if those women, and I'm just going to say this and y'all tell me if this is what y'all saw. If Heavenly actually lived in Miami, them women wouldn't hang with Heavenly. They wouldn't even fuck with her, especially not that white woman. Because when she said something, they were, said they battled for council or something when they were in high school, and Heavenly just busted out and said, "Yeah, you won because you was white." I said, "I know this white woman is like, oh, this black bitch, honey." I said, why was that even necessary? Do you think, even if I thought that, I wouldn't have said that on television, national television? It wasn't cute. It really wasn't cute. And you see Simone and Jackie's face like, Lord have mercy, wouldn't it? I don't believe those women would actually hang with Heavenly. You all tell me in the comments. Do you believe that those women would actually have a friendship, an ongoing friendship, and actually hang out with Heavenly if she lived in Miami? Anyway, okay, let's go back because I done jumped all the way to the end of the show. But anyway, Eugene and Toya are up toasting to the ground break and all of that on their house that's actually being built. And Eugene actually did tell Toya basically when it comes to the contestant thing, you tripping, you tripping, and she is, you tripping. And he was saying, I really like Scott, and I don't want to fall out with Scott because you tripping off on Contessa. Like, really? I said, uh huh. And then they were saying that when it comes to Quad and Greg, Quad is saying one thing and Greg is saying another. They're not saying the same thing. That's true. At this point, that is absolutely true. Absolutely true. But again, I still see that Toya is internalizing a lot of this stuff. Don't none of this shit have to do with you. I truly want to know how it is that Toya became a victim in that realm of what's going on between Quad and Greg. Where in your rabbit mind, bitch, did it become your issue and everybody's against you and you feel so slighted? When did you become a part of their problem in their marriage? And it's just breaking you down so much and you feel like you're being slighted. Toy, if you don't go sit your goddamn ass down. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyway, then we actually see Quad sitting down with Abigail and that fine ass Mark. If you don't remember them, Mark and Abigail are actually a couple that is friends with Gregory and Quad from their little marriage focus group that they actually have. They were one of the other couples. Baby, that Mark is fine, 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 honey. Woo, we love it every time he show up on the show, honey. I say, hey Mark, what's going on, honey? Anyway, moving on. Getting hot in here. They gave some good advice. They did for right where Quad is. Said you two need to consider some time apart. You need to consider some time apart. You need to, if y'all are not in the house together, then y'all can figure out, do you want to come back together or should you just go ahead and call it splitsies? And I thought that was actually good advice. And I don't, for the time, for where they are, I thought it was good advice because I really don't want to be the person. I never want to be the person when it comes to a relationship to say, you need to leave. Or as long as nobody's not hitting anybody or being really, well, first of all, with them, Quad needed to been gone because Gregory's very verbally abusive and Quad is outwardly nasty to him because she's just so frustrated and she's so over it. So they're not good to be in the house together. But whoever wants to be the person to say a married couple needs to separate, nobody wants to play that role. But I thought it was very good advice. It will bring clarity on both ends, good or bad. So I thought that was really good. Next we see Mariah, Aiden, and Lauren. And now they went out to dinner and they're going to talk about the birds and the bees. Why are y'all going to talk about this while y'all are out at dinner? They really didn't go that far into it. It was really no big deal. It was just nothing but a little filler saying for the most part. They really ain't said nothing too much about the birds and the bees other than girls stay away from boys, honey. Basically. But Mariah and Mariah Fashion brought that scene around to, well, this is what she's supposed to do. It's her job. This is her job. So she's supposed to bring it around and entertain her fans. And she did. She entertained her fans because she brought that whole conversation around to a point where she was insulting Heavenly. Now, what I didn't like about it is you're insulting Heavenly and talking shit on Heavenly in front of Lauren. And then the first thing that'll be coming out your mouth is keep the kids out of it, but bitch, you're not keeping your kid out of it. You're doing a whole scene where you're talking about this woman and how ugly she is and how fucked up she is, and you're saying this to your daughter. So in essence, are you really keeping your kid out of it, bitch? Or are you sitting around talking to your daughter like she's one of your best friends while you're talking to her about some other grown woman? I'll wait. And then at the end of the day, I doubt that Lauren would ever do this because she's a sweet girl. But if she were to ever disrespect Heavenly and call Heavenly ugly or make reference to the fact that Heavenly's ugly, y'all would say that she's too grown. But is she too grown? Her mammy just sat there and opened the door. She just sat there and opened the door to the fact that this woman is unattractive in my eyes. She's your daughter. You're her mother. And I've just given you compliments not just a week ago about the good job that you actually do with her. Right here, Mariah, not a good look. Not a good look. You don't sit around and down talk other adults to children. You don't do that because what you're doing is breaking down the respect that that child has for that other adult. And most times, when that child ends up going into the presence of that other adult, you can actually see in the behavior and the interaction they have with that person, you can watch a child and find out exactly what's being said about you at their house. That's a whole nother topic for another time. I may do another video on that. But oh yeah, you can watch. Didn't you ever hear the saying, out of the mouth of babes? Pay attention to the children. They're the future, and they'll tell you what's been going on in the past, honey, without even ever opening their mouths. I think I will do a video about that. Y'all keep your eyes open for that good shit, because it's real interesting, and I could really go in on that little situation. It's bad. It's bad. So I'm a parent. I'm going to throw this out there for you all. Don't don't sit around and talk about other adults to your fucking children because it's not a good look. It's not a good look, and it brings contention that's not necessary. They are not your best friends. They're your fucking children. Anyway, and I don't even like Heavenly like that, and y'all know, but Mariah, bitch, you're out of order as usual. Moving on. Aiden, you too, bald-headed ass. Because you sat up there too like it was okay, old bald-head fucker. Anyway, moving on. Heavenly. All right, and this is like the Heavenly episode, ain't it? When we found out about Heavenly, I felt kind of bad for her. That child, she had a completely dysfunctional childhood. I didn't talk about this when it came out like 2 episodes ago, when Heavenly shared that her mother used to call her bitches. Out of order. Out of order. Mother calling her daughter bitches and whores. Out of order. Um, for whatever reason, it slipped. You got very angry. Whatever, bitch. It's out of order. You call bitches in the street bitches and whores. Your daughter, you don't call your daughter bitches and whores. You don't refer to her as that. You refer to her as princess, queen, my baby, my girl, my sweet, my love, things like that. Not bitch and whore. Moving on. Her mother caused division and contention between Heavenly and her sister. Heavenly is jealous of her sister. She said out of her mouth, well, she was always the prettier one, and this, that thing, and the other. But then the mother always told Heavenly, you're the good one. You're the good one. And Heavenly said, I wasn't allowed to go out where my sister was allowed to go. And when she said to her mother, said, let that woman go wherever she's going. You're staying in here because you're my good one. You're going to be something. Just as if her sister wasn't shit. So, in essence, she wasn't allowed to do the things that she was viewing as fun that her sister was doing. And then all along, her mother's pumping to her that you're better than her. You're going to be something. And like she ain't shit. Meanwhile, Heavenly said herself, her sister used to actually work for her in her office, running her office, and they just couldn't get along because they got that fucked up relationship that we see stem back to the mother. And she said that her sister now works for somebody else running their office. So, and all this time, up until now, I thought Heavenly's mother was deceased. Because that's just the feeling that I got, whenever it came up. I thought her mother was deceased. But I'm sure that's probably like a chuckle in her mother's belly to find out, yeah, not only did I turn out to not be shit, but I've run the one that you thought was so great. I played a part in running her business, and now I don't work for her. Help run someone else's business. So unfortunately, I did turn out to be something just like she did. I don't know about Heavenly's mom, honey. I said, interesting. But there's definitely some jealousy between Heavenly and her sister. And you're in counseling, bitch. You need to tap into that. You need to tap into that. Now, your father is gone. And thank God your mother is actually still living. But at the point, if something, God forbid something happens to your mother, there will be nobody left but you and your sister, bitch, and you run around jealous of your sister. While you're in counseling trying to get shit together, bitch, go figure out why you're jealous of your sister and get rid of it, bitch. She's your sister. She's not one for you to be jealous of. There's nothing worse than sisters where one is jealous of the other. It's fucking horrible. Another time, another video, I can really get into that one. Anyway, moving on. Heavenly's father, the God rest his soul, we found out he actually died in the house because they actually went back to the actual house that Heavenly grew up in. And the person that owns the house let her come in, and they kept it quiet, and they were whispering because her father actually died in one of the rooms. And I said, "Oh, they're going to see this whenever it airs," but they kept it quiet. But it was a real bad situation. She really went into some like anxiety over it, and that's when we found out she hadn't actually been in the house since it happened. And it happened her first year in school and college. It had happened. She hadn't been back in that house since then, and she took it really bad. Um, and we got to see a softer side of Heavenly. She's just a girl. She's just a girl, and something about that really scared her, and she was saying she felt anxious. There was a fear there, and I felt really bad for Heavenly. I was like, wow. But at least now with whoever your therapist is, they'll have these things to work with to try to work through some of what your issues are. Nobody cares about the fact of you being rude and shit like that. That's not going to change. That's embedded in you. That's who you are. You're going to be an old, cantankerous, nasty, evil bitch from here on out for the rest of your life, girl. When you get old, you're going to be that old bitch that don't nobody like, that if they kick the ball and the ball come on your porch, you're going to take the ball and take it to your house. Bitch, you're going to be that person. So that is what it is. But all that other shit you got going on, you need to work through that shit. Hopefully from watching this, they'll be able to see what angles to actually work with you. Like I said, the father even brought some drama to the home too, because he was in the military. And then when he came back from the military, he came in with this strict shit on top of the bullshit that already was going on in the house. And one last thing I'm going to say about that house situation where Heavenly was saying this, because there's some things been changed about the house. She was saying this right here where we're standing used to be my room. It was small and it didn't have any windows. It didn't have any windows, and that affected her. That affected her, and she wasn't allowed to go outside and play and different things like that. And then she was heavy set and all of that. All of that shit done fucked her up. And like she said, and there's some things that she did, she said she never wanted, her whole life goal was to get the fuck out of that little ass room. And that's what she said, because she has a huge, beautiful home. She talked about never wanting to be in a space that was confined with no windows again. And that's what she said. The back of her house is basically all glass. So it did tell a lot. That's basically it that I have to say about this episode. I'm just glad that with this, they can take this one episode and really get some stuff out of here to work on Heavenly's therapy. Because there was a lot of doors open to where some of her issues are. But it was interesting to watch. So that's it. That's all I have to say. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch y'all next week. Before I let you go, I do want to give you this. It's been a long time coming. I've been working on this for about 9 months, trying to get this together. merchandise. People have been asking me about different t-shirts and things like that. I finally came up with my Milan signature t-shirt. I'm happy with the design finally. 9 months in, I'm happy with it. And they are available now. Here I'm going to show you a little picture of what it is. They are red. That's it. That's the only color. It's the signature t-shirt. I had myself cartoonized, and it's red with black outline, and it says Milan Treasure on it. And they are available at www.spillitboy.com. All right, go grab your shirts, honey. Y'all asked for it. Go grab them. All right, thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all later.